Hey folks, Marc Sopher here from Sophie's Trophies. It's a cold, miserable day out, really windy, so even I'm not out in the water today. But what I wanted to do is take a minute and answer a question I get a lot from people, either emails or people I meet out on the water. And it usually comes after they lose a fish of a lifetime. And they ask me, Mark, what's a good knot to throw at big fish? Well, I'm going to show you a knot today, and I don't know the name of it. I was taught it 40 years ago by my grandfather, Walter Olson. But this knot is tough, durable. I've used it with anything I've casted, spoons, spinners, jerk baits, cranks, and I've used it with line from 8 pound to 80 with success. Here's one thing, I only use it with monofilament or braided lines. No fluorocarbon, no fire line with this knot. Mono and braided. So here's a knot I want you to try. I think it'll work in any casting situation. First off here, I'm going to move forward and tie this string through this little metal loop. This is going to be like the eye of your lure or your leader. You can tie this knot directly to a lure if you want, or to a leader. It holds great in both situations. But what I do first, you go through the eye and you make 2 loops with your line. Nice and simple. You got the loops out here, 1, 2, and your tag end. You go through that 2 or 3 times. I've never had it come out with 2. Sometimes I go 3. But you go through that, and then you just pull that tight. I wet it. If it's mono or braid, I wet it, and then I pull, and there's your knot. Trim your tag end, you're going to have a nice strong knot there. Now let's try that one more time here. We're going to use a lure and some 40-pound braid. This is my trusty shallow raider. You guys see me throw a lot out on the water here in southeast Wisconsin, and we've got a lot of carp in the water on some area lakes that hold pike and muskie. And this one has done really good for me, imitating carp, I think walleyes and perch. It's yellowish brown, some orange on the bottom. Great lure. But again, here's what we're going to do. We take our tag end of our line. I'm going through the eye of the lure. Also usually would be going through the eye of the leader. Okay, I want to make my 2 loops. Make sure you don't have anything caught around the lip of your lure. And get the second loop through. Alright. Now I've got 2 loops there in my tag end. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to kind of put it there. Alright, so now what I want to do now is take my tag end and go through my 2 loops. Like I said earlier, I go through 2 or 3 times, depending on just how I feel. I've never lost a fish with just going through 2, but I often go through 3 times 2. But so you want to go through the 2 main loops you made, and then you want to pull everything tight. Now, before I'd cast with it, I would wet it down and pull. So then now I've got that nice and snug. I trim this tag end, and there's my Walter knot, I call it. Never's failed me, never ever. So next time you're on the water throwing a fairly nice sized lure, spinners, spinner baits, spoons, crank baits, jerk baits, you name it, bulldogs, try this knot out. Give it a shot. It's easy to tie. It's quick. You don't have to do a million twists here and there. You can tie this in the dark easy once you learn how. It's a great knot. So anyways, that's it for today. See you on the water. Get fishing.